the Battle of Normandy, in the summer of 1944, Allied forces deployed more than 5,000 ships and 13,000 aircraft carried over 150,000 Allied troops across the English Channel to a 50-mile stretch of Normandy beaches, codenamed Sword, Juno, Gold, Omaha, and Utah. 156,000 American, British, and Canadian troops met heavy resistance from the German forces defending the area, but were able to punch inland, securing safe landing zones for reinforcements. The German failure to successfully defend the Normandy area from the Allied liberation forces in essence doomed Hitler's dream of a Nazi-controlled fortress Europe and marked the beginning of the end for Germany. By the 30th of August 1944, the Germans retreat across the Seine, leaving behind more than 400,000 casualties and 4,000 planes and tanks. Among the German tanks left behind caused by fuel shortage, mechanical failure, or simple abandonment, Allied forces made a jaw-dropping discovery.
Please click on the link below the video to watch the full content. If you are
inside 73SD.KFZ.124 Wesp Nazi tanks, Allied forces have found, which was to be till then, secret, fuel-less electric generators. In 1940, during the Battle of France, it was apparent that the intermediate tank of the German forces, the Panzer II, was unsuitable as a main battle tank. Though mechanically sound, it was both undergunned and under-armored, so the Germans had to come up with a new tank prototype to replace the old, heavy, and fuel-inefficient Panzer II. The design of the Wesp was produced by Alcott, a major manufacturer of armored vehicles during World War II, and was based on the Panzer II chassis. Alcott had earlier worked with Alfred Becker, a brilliant German engineer and artillery officer who served during the Second World War. While he was retreating after the Battle of Normandy, Alfred Becker was captured by the Allied forces in Alsace and forced to cooperate with them, focusing especially on explaining the device installed on the KFZ-124 Wesp Nazi tanks. Stick around for the next 5 minutes and you will discover a unique way to bring joy and happiness in your lives by not paying a single cent for your electricity and kiss goodbye the power companies out of your lives forever, or even make them pay you for the surplus you'll sell back to the grid. As I said earlier, this all has to do with the incredible invention of Alfred Becker from the 1940s. Alfred Becker, born the 20th of August 1899 in Krefeld, Germany, was an incredible, intelligent German engineer and artillery officer who served during the First and Second World Wars. A mechanical engineer, he was best known for being the primary person responsible for converting captured vehicles and weapons into usable instruments for the German Army. Using his engineering and organizational skills, he created a facility in France to convert large numbers of captured French equipment into German mobile guns, rocket launchers, and mortars. Becker was Germany's expert at acquisition and conversion of captured military equipment. In addition to creating the conversion program in France, Becker was at the same time the commanding officer of the Sturmgeschütz ABT 200. A motorized assault gun battalion of the 21st Panzer Division. He commanded this unit during its re-equipment in 1944 through the battles fought in Normandy and the retreat across France and Belgium until his capture in Alsace on the French-German border in December 1944. Becker obtained a doctorate in mechanical engineering and was co-owner of the company Volkmann & Company in Krefeld. He formed a small manufacturing firm, Alfred Becker AG, of Bielefeld. In 1938, Becker's firm was given the task of making a small production run of the Hummel mobile artillery piece by secondary conversion of the existing Panzer Mk4 chassis. The Hummel was a self-propelled 150mm howitzer based upon the Panzer IV. It followed the development of the lighter Wesp, which was based on the Panzer Mk2 chassis, plus the surprise fuel-less generator, and mounted the 105mm LEFH howitzer guns. Both vehicles were intended to provide the Panzer forces with mobile howitzer batteries. Comparing the two, the larger Hummel provided more room to work the howitzer, carried a significantly heavier gun, and showed better cross-country mobility. The Wesp tanks were created as a solution to the fuel shortage that Germany confronted during the Normandy battle. Becker's firm was contracted to convert redundant Panzer IV chassis to provide an interim vehicle prior to the primary production of the Hummel. His company delivered 122 vehicles of this type in 1938 and a further 108 in 1939 before Becker was called away to assume command of an artillery battalion. The Befreiungskraft, as Becker called his invention, was capable to capitalize the magnet power to generate 100% free electricity, enough to power the 24,000-pound or 11-ton Wesp tanks without any outside input like gasoline or coal. Allied forces, engineers, and scientists were literally terrified when they examined the Befreiungskraft, Hitler's holy grail. They were astonished by the force power produced by the German invention. After World War II ended, Becker's invention was kept secret under U.S. Army Department observation. Numerous tests made by an evaluation committee indicated that Becker's invention was 100% real and functional. That's when the big energy corporations of that time entered into the picture with a hell of a lot of money and tipped off the evaluators in order to grab the invention, along with the blueprints, with the intention of never to go public. They immediately knew that if this information leaked into mass media, it meant the beginning of the end for them. If the average Joes could get a hold of these blueprints, they wouldn't ever pay a single cent for electricity for the rest of their lives, and that was something unacceptable to the electricity mafia. But no, after more than half a century of poor suppression, an argument between some electricity fat cats executives led to an information leak from an anonymous source inside one of the most powerful electricity companies and landed in our hands. Armed with faith and confidence, we wanted to see if Becker's invention is really capable of generating at least half the energy needed to power a tank in order to use it to power an ordinary house. The result was far more than we could have hoped for. Therefore, we'll show you in a few moments real footage of the device in action, indisputable evidence that Becker's generator is real and efficient. This is by far the most important discovery in the history of human mankind. You will no longer have to be concerned about those overpriced electric bills ever. Light bulbs, heating systems, kitchen appliances, TVs, air conditioning systems, washers, dryers, or any other electronics you can think about can be powered with this ingenious invention from World War II. The opportunities are limitless, just like the source of energy. This is real electricity independence at its greatest. There will be no more power bills. Just flip the switch and forget about it. And remember, building the generator may seem a monumental task for you, but with our step-by-step video tutorial, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. You don't have to be an engineer to make your own device. You'll pull this through without a whistle. Earlier, we said that we'll show you real footage of this device in action. Here it is.
Please click on the link below the video to watch the full content. If you are interested,